Okay, first thing I want to show you is how to clean these controls the right way. Most people will just settle for putting spray in these little holes on the top. However, you're going to probably get about 2% of the cleaner in this hole. There's only going to drip in. You're going to have the ability to flush that out. The way I've been doing it since I was pretty much 18 years old, a little bit over 40 years, is I modify the straws. I don't know if you can see that straw. And what I do is, if you can see, I have a hook on the straw. So what I generally do is take the tip and roll it around a couple times so I can get a nice little, generally an L shape, almost looks like a candy cane type thing. And I have a two-part system. What I do first and foremost is I don't go on the top grooves. I put the chemical, the spray, right in where it belongs, which is right in here. You can see, I don't know how good the video is going to show up. Hold this up higher, hon. Okay, but right in here, it goes right into the wipers. So if you bend that and you manipulate it so you can get it in and spray, you can literally flush it out and you can see it coming out the other side and see it coming out the spray. So this, by deflecting inside there, you can see it squirts out all over the place. I even see some coming out there. This way you're flushing, you're getting all that out. And I use CRC contact cleaner. It evaporates first to flush it out. And then I put in my, in this case, Fader Lube. In this case, Fader Lube, I do the same thing. I flush them out. I have this on an angle to where I can get at it, the board, if I have to lay this upside down or whatever I have to do to get at it, so I can hold my can upright. I flush it, and then this would be turned from front to back at least 20 times. And then you leave that evaporate, the CRC evaporate, which a good 2 or 3 minutes, it'll all be gone. And then you repeat that whole process with the deoxit. Same thing, a little bit in the corners on all of them. This doesn't have the loop bend as much, but I would bend this for whatever angle I would need. Squirt it in there. It gets in really good. And it's not as critical to get as much deoxit in there because that does spread around and lubricate and clean. And go back another 20, 30 times with this. And then if you wanted to, you could put another little squirt in. But that's how you do the controls. Switches I'll do a little bit later, but switches are a little bit more difficult inside. But these switches down here, I'm not talking the push button switches, but generally speaking, the way to do that correctly is there's a bunch of wafers. And if you look inside here, you need to get on both sides of these wafers. Front, back, front, to obviously turn it. Go to the back, inside, front, back. Make sure you get both sides of every wafer that's on the switch. After you flush that, again, 20, 30 times, flipping the switch, and then you would go with your deoxit D5 contact and lubricate and do the same thing after you let that evaporate for about 2, 3, 4 minutes. Doesn't really matter. After 2, 3 minutes, most of that is gone and that'll lubricate it. But that's the correct way to do these switches and these controls, or the correct way, in my opinion, the way I do it anyway. And I know there's a lot of amateurs out there. I'm not using amateur word lightly, but a lot of people who just do it for themselves, and maybe this little tutorial or whatever you want to call it might help them out to get in there and see the way I've managed to do it over the years and come up with some good ideas. Also, here's something else I found on eBay from Australia. Is the straw that you can get in about a 3-foot piece and cut it to length. Sometime what I do is hook the one end up to a can, and I hook the other end up to a piece of wood or something like this, put the little angle, tape it. Then you can literally manipulate something like this in wherever you need to. I should have had one made up already, but I just got these in. Just found them after years and years. I used to use these 35 years ago. Couldn't find them, but there's a company in Australia. I found them on eBay. And this also helps. You just pinpoint it, bend it, tape it, press the can on the table, press the button, and just spray in like that. and you can make yourself a nice little thing with a long hose. And if anybody's never had the opportunity to use something like that, that's a lifesaver in a lot of situations where these controls are really buried. That's it.